Hi, as you probably know, there are 5 Magical Girl shows currently airing in Japan, as well as 3 in South Korea, and several scattered all throughout the year in China. But I want to tell you today about 17 Magical Girl series that are currently in print in comic form. To tell you the truth, there are actually 19, but I'm not going to talk about the very spicy ones. So all of these should be safe for you to read if you are old enough to be watching this video. I'm going to go in order of spiciest to most kid-friendly. So first one, this one is may not be for everyone, but it at least stars an adult woman. This one is called Magical Girl 201. It's called Mahoni for short in Japanese. It's about a villainess who is a post-grad who needs to befriend the magical girl in order to defeat her, but the magical girl is this very, very cute little girl who has just moved next door, and it's a very wholesome friendship. That being said, most of the series is about putting the main character, the villainess, into precarious situations, so just be mindful of that. It's not necessarily safe for work, but it's not pornographic. Next, there are 2 4-panel comics currently in serialization. One is called Magical Shiba Inu Hanamaru. This is about a dog who becomes a magical girl because he steals the magical stick of the girl, his owner, who was about to become a magical girl. The second one being Magigawa, Magical Girl Plushie. It's about a girl who finds a plushie which looks like a magical girl. It swallows her whole, turning her into a magical girl, and there's also Yuriantic, so that's fun. Next one is a webcomic, so I'm not sure exactly in terms of target audience, but I'm going to put it here. Magical Karina is about a magical girl who gets into the whole thing because she is trying to find out what went wrong when her grandmother mysteriously dies. And there's a little bit kind of weird body horror stuff in this one, so just be mindful of that. Next one you probably know about if you're a VTuber fan. Hollow Witches, Magical Girl Hollow Witches is a Hololive Magical Girl series. It is a mixed media thing. There's drama CDs and there's also a kind of live show, so to speak, that came out on YouTube a few weeks ago. But basically this is a comic. The main story is a comic, which you can read online if you can read Japanese. Next, Wicked Spot by Sal Jiang is one that started just last month. This is probably going to be a Yuri series. I'm not 100% sure just because of the author's past work, but this is about a witch who discovers the world of social media after being a hermit all her life, and it's interesting. This one has spicy potential, but I'm not 100% sure yet because it's really just started. Next, in the world of boys comics of the magical girl genre, most recently Ichi the Witch started. This is actually a magical boy series because in the world where there are many witches, Ichi is the only boy witch, and that's the whole thing. It's interesting so far. Definitely, I haven't read all the way. I'm not caught up, but so far, so good. And then if you are watching Magilumiere, Magical Girls Inc., which is airing this season, you can keep getting more story by actually reading the comic. It's on Manga Plus, Each of the Witches as well, by the way. And so you can read all the way to the end in English, or you can buy the physical volumes. Volume 4 is the last one that has been published in English. There are 14 volumes total in Japan because it started in 2021. It's been going forever. Next, let's get into the girls' comics. So, starting with Nakoyoshi Magazine, which is what Sailor Moon was originally published in. Currently, we have 3 Magical Girls series. Precure, which is a supplement story for the current Precure season, which it comes out every month. It's great. Next one, actually the other 2 are both sequels. So we have Mermaid Melody, Peachy Peachy Pitch Aqua. This is a sequel to Mermaid Melody, Peachy Peachy Pitch, of course. This features Lucia, who is the daughter of Lucia and Kaito, as a 17-year-old half mermaid, half Fantalassin actually, but whatever, we're not going to get into that. Learning about her mermaidness for the first time and dealing with love triangles and all that. It's very, very similar to the old series in a lot of ways and does have some problems because of that, but if you like the original series, might as well read it, right? The second sequel is Shugo Kyara Jewel Joker, which is a sequel to Shugo Kyara. It just started this summer, and it features Amu and Tarase, who have now transferred as they start junior high school and are dealing with this school that has an infestation of eggs, basically. The kind of big name right now is Magical Girl Dandelion. This started back in September and was so popular. It just got very, very popular on the socials such that they very, very quickly started an English translation, so you can read this one over on Viz Media, which is great. This one features a magical girl and this supposed monster, and they work together, and it's very cute. Very, very important to note, this is not officially a romance. A lot of people think it's going to be one, but there is no indication of that officially, and the author refuses to answer about this because it is, again, advertised as a buddy comedy magical girl series. Ribbon magazine only has one magical girl series right now. It's called Angel Mate. This is about angels. Well, children who die young can become angels if they go to angel school in heaven. And so this features a 10-year-old girl named Noah who is trying to deal with understanding, being able to give hope to people because she never had much hope in her own life. It's a very bittersweet story, very sweet. I love the characters so much. They're so precious. And then we have Chow Magazine. Chow Magazine has 3 magical girl series currently. One of them is online only, and it isn't published very often. There are only 7 chapters out so far, but it publishes about 2 or 3 chapters a year, seemingly. It's called Magical Mimi, Magical Dream. This one is a horror comic, which basically turns every single chapter into a one-shot. And it is very violent, but again, this is a child comic, so it is for girls. The other 2 ribbon comics are very, very fresh. So the first one started last issue and is called Magical Reading. It's about a girl who just discovered she can use magic in a very witch-like way, and she has to collect human energy. That's kind of her goal so far. The second one has a very controversial or interesting title. It's called I Want to Eat the Mermaid Princess. It's about a girl who's just discovered that she's a mermaid and a boy who wants to eat her because in Japanese folklore, there's this idea that if you eat a mermaid, it will give you healing powers, basically. Like you will be healed by eating mermaid flesh. So far, it's just simply, I want to drink your tears, but that's still pretty, okay, whatever. But it's definitely intended to be some kind of like romantic comedy so far. I haven't actually read this one yet, so we'll see what happens. Last but not least, Little Girl Magazine Fuchigumi has a very short comic that is a supplement for Twinkle Cat Teeny Ping, which is the 2nd Teeny Ping season, and it's currently airing in the Japanese dub. This is to get kids, of course, just interested in watching this other magical girl show and buy the toys, of course, because now we have toys in Japan for Teeny Ping. As is very common with these kinds of very short comics, this one is illustrated by Miho Asada this season, but last season was illustrated by Pink Hanamori, the author of Mermaid Melody. So that's that. So those are all the magical girl comics currently in print or online in Japan. Most of them don't have official translations, unfortunately, but you know, there are scanlations out there, I'm sure, whatever. But yeah, it's pretty cool that we have all these different series. I'm the host of a Magical Girl podcast, by the way, called Sparkleside Chats with Magical Girl Ayu. We are on the way to 200 episodes, and I talk about a different Magical Girl series each week. So be sure to listen and let me know what other Magical Girl stuff you want to hear about. Bye!